It began with a broadcast, a triumphant declaration, carried on every galactic frequency. By decree of the Council of 12, Earth is no more. The Terran homeworld stands lost, forgotten, abandoned, irrelevant. The voice belonged to Chancellor Viral of the Targassi Dominion. Behind him, the image of a burning blue world shimmered. Fabricated, but convincing enough to make the galaxy believe. They called it the end of humanity. It wasn't a war. It was an execution. The Targassi had grown tired of humanity's moral posturing, of their refusal to bow to old empires and their hierarchies. They targeted a remote Terran colony, Arcadia IV, a lush world of forests and seas, one of the oldest human settlements outside Sol. They came not as conquerors, but as exterminators. Arcadia's defense grid was crushed in a single volley. Orbital bombardments turned oceans to steam. Cities, quaint, peaceful places, were erased in moments. Over 10 million human civilians, gone. The Targassi fleet commander, Admiral Vector, ordered the final transmission before leaving orbit. His voice was cold, almost amused. Let this be a message to Earth, if it still exists. You are a relic. Stay forgotten. And with that they left. No survivors. No remorse. The galaxy watched in silence. And when no human fleet came to retaliate, when Earth did not speak, did not protest, when the stars around Sol remained dark and silent, the galaxy decided it was true. Earth was lost. Humanity was broken, and the void moved on. The Feast of Fools months passed, then years. The Arcadian Purge became a tale of mockery told in cantinas and war councils alike. The Dominion boasted that it had ended the Terran question. The other empires nodded in relief. Humanity had been troublesome, idealistic, unpredictable. They called humans dreamers with guns, and now those guns were rusted. The Galactic Newsnet ran with headlines. Earth, silent for 15 years. Terran Council disbanded. New age without humanity begins. At the Targassi capital, on the world of Ural Prime, the anniversary of the Purge became a festival. They called it Ashfall Day. Every year, fireworks would light up their skies, red and blue, mocking Earth's colors. Holographic displays showed Terran soldiers falling before alien armies. Toasts were raised to Admiral Vector, the man who ended Earth. They never knew that Earth's silence was not weakness. It was waiting, listening, and building. 3. The silence breaks. The first sign came quietly. Targassi patrol frigate, Haralon Spear, failed to report from the rim sector near the Perseus Fringe. It wasn't unusual. Pirates, ion storms, navigation errors. The Dominion logged it as lost in action. A week later, 3 more ships went missing. Then 8 entire patrol routes vanished. No distress signals. No wreckage. Only static. By the time the Dominion realized the pattern, it was too late. The pattern was the message, because one morning, every communications relay in Dominion space received a single transmission. No origin traceable. No encryption readable. Just 3 words. Arcadia remembers us. Panic rippled through their command chains. Old records were dug up, historians consulted. Arcadia 1? That dead human colony? But before the questions could be answered, every orbital defense satellite above Ural Prime shut down, simultaneously. Then the skies screamed. They weren't ships at first. Not to the naked eye. Just streaks of light, too fast, too precise. Orbital sensors overloaded as kinetic lances, traveling at near-light velocity, tore through shipyards, refineries, and planetary shields. In a single hour, half of the Dominion's fleet was rendered to debris. The next broadcast came seconds later. A voice. Human, steady as steel. This is Rear Admiral Rhea Voss of the Terran Retribution Command. By order of Earth High Command, you stand condemned for the genocide of Arcadia IV. Judgment has arrived. The galaxy trembled. Earth had spoken Daiforv. Shadows from Sol the Dominion scrambled to defend itself. Fleets rallied, admirals shouted orders, and propaganda broadcasts screamed that humanity was bluffing. But then came the visuals. The human ships, if they could even be called ships anymore, emerged from the black like wraiths of vengeance. Vast angular constructs of carbon armor and mirrored hulls. No markings, no insignias. Each bore only a number. RC-01, ARC-02, ARC-03, the names of the fallen colonies, and leading them, the flagship TSV Obsidian Dawn, Earth's first Dreadnought-class singularity carrier. Its arrival bent spacetime itself, sensors failing to render its full shape. The Dominion called it the shadow that eats stars. When the Targassi tried to open diplomatic channels, the human fleet did not respond. They simply advanced. Thousands of drones poured forth, autonomous and silent. Missile barrages moved with impossible precision, guided by AIs built in Earth's long exile. Defense grids melted before rail cannons the size of city. Spires, the Dominion's command hub on Ural Prime, was reduced to glass in less than 6 minutes. One survivor's transmission was captured by the wider galaxy before his ship disintegrated. They're not fighting for territory. They're not even fighting for victory. They're cleansing us, V. The thunder of Earthward spread faster than light. Empires that had mocked humanity scrambled their fleets, fearing the storm might reach them next. The Galactic Council convened an emergency summit. They sent envoys to Earth, pleas for negotiation, offers of alliance, even apologies. None returned, because Earth no longer spoke through diplomats. It spoke through thunder. The Obsidian Dawn spearheaded an offensive across 6 sectors. Every Dominion world that had participated in Arcadia's destruction was targeted, with surgical precision and absolute finality. Cities were not bombarded. They were erased. Space elevators melted mid-air. Atmospheric processors detonated. Human ground troops, the new breed, were not soldiers as the galaxy knew them. They were encased in black armor, neural-linked, eyes burning with faint blue light. The Targassi called them the Revenants. They moved like ghosts through fire and rubble. They did not speak. They did not take prisoners. Only one symbol adorned their armor. A white arc, representing Arcadia. And on every world they landed, one phrase was broadcast before the bombardment began. For every voice silenced, 1,000 rise. 6. The fall of the Dominion in 3 months. The Targassi Dominion, an empire that had stood for 8,000 years, ceased to exist. Their fleets were reduced to wreckage drifting through the void. Their archives, their culture, their history, gone. When the last Targassi warlord transmitted surrender, he begged for mercy. The reply came from Admiral Voss herself. Mercy died with Arcadia. Her fleet's cannons ignited one final time. The Obsidian Dawn opened its Singularity Core, a weapon never meant to be used, and released an artificial micro-black hole into the Targassi sun. For 3 days, the star bled light into the void before collapsing. A sun swallowed by vengeance, a civilization undone by its own arrogance. The galaxy watched the transmission in horror, and realized, too late, that Earth had never been lost. It had been becoming. Sudden, the reckoning. Beyond the Galactic Council's panic turned to dread. They ordered an immediate embargo on human space, declaring Earth a quarantine world. But curiosity, as ever, betrayed them. Recon ships ventured toward Sol, hoping to see what remained of the old world. Only one returned. Its captain, a Valari explorer, was found catatonic, eyes wide, muttering the same words again and again. The skies over Earth. They're full. They're alive. The footage retrieved from his ship showed the truth. Orbiting Earth was a fortress ring, an artificial halo spanning 100,000 kilometers. Dockyards, weapon platforms, and fleets beyond counting, silhouetted against the blue marble below. The planet once thought defenseless now gleamed with the power of a god. And at the center of that defense, a single message pulsed through every comm channel in range. Earth never forgets. The Council fell silent. No one dared speak of retaliation. No one dared mention Arcadia. Every empire, every species, rewrote their laws overnight. Do not provoke the Terrans. Avoid Sol at all costs. If Earth speaks, listen. The galaxy had learned. The ghost years decades passed. The ruins of the Dominion became forbidden zones, haunted by wreckage and drifting monuments of war. The human fleets withdrew into silence once more. Their worlds were unseen, their colonies unvisited. Traders spoke of Terran ships appearing out of nowhere, scanning convoys, and vanishing without a word. No one knew how vast humanity had become, nor how far their vengeance reached. But sometimes, in the deep dark of the outer systems, alien miners would find strange markings etched into asteroid surfaces. White arcs, always in groups of 4, and beneath them, in Terran standard, a phrase, for Arcadia, for Earth, for all who were lost. 9. The last broadcast a century after the Purge, a new chancellor of the Reformed Galactic Council made a speech. He spoke of unity, peace, and rebuilding, of learning from the mistakes of the past. He ended with a plea. If humanity still listens, if Earth still watches, we ask only this: forgive us. Moments later, the Council's main display flickered. Static hissed. Then, for the first time in 100 years, a Terran transmission broke across every star system. A woman's voice. Calm, measured, unmistakably human. Forgiveness is for the living. You killed ours. The signal cut. Across the galaxy, lights dimmed as planetary networks crashed under an untraceable pulse. When they came back online, every screen displayed the same image. The blue arc of Earth, shining above black armor, and below it, one sentence written in Terran script. The galaxy declared Earth lost, and lost itself instead. X. The echo that never fades. Centuries later, children across alien worlds still whisper of the day the humans returned. They tell tales of ships that swallow suns, of voices that speak from silence, of vengeance colder than the void itself. Historians debate whether Earth's retribution fleet still exists. Some claim the Terrans evolved beyond flesh and bone, that they now live within the very data streams of the galaxy, unseen but ever present. Others say they slumber in the cradle of soul, waiting for the next insult, the next arrogance, the next declaration that dares to call Earth lost. Because the truth, as every world now knows, is that humanity does not vanish. Humanity endures, and when it rises, the galaxy falls,